Every time you chat with an AI, it has no idea who you are, what you are working on, what your projects are, how you like to communicate. And that's very, very annoying. You're constantly re-explaining yourself, and that's a huge waste of time. So I would like to show you how I built my second brain, personal assistant, whatever you want to call it. I call it Otto. On the left, that's most people juggling everything themselves, creating documentations, researching, handling clients, etc., etc., all in your head, all on you. On the right, that's me now, but with my second brain. It remembers everything, connects the dots, and handles the heavy lifting for me or with me. And that's it, a folder with markdown files inside. And the AI will read whatever it needs to in order to answer my questions or collaborate with me. So I've opened up now my Otto workspace in my editor of choice, just to show you a little bit deeper on how the setup works. So we start with the Claude MD file. And this is what Claude Code reads first and all the time, every time you start a new chat or a new conversation. So the most important thing is actually at the very top. So where I said, hey, this is a living workspace. Please update all the time. Don't ask me, just do it. Here are a couple of rules. Log meaningful things in changelog as well. Just update these things. Then we have the skills part right here. I'll show you in a second. And down here is basically an index of the whole workspace. So it can quickly find important things. So about me, my company, branding, etc., etc. So I can show you another example of the me file. So I open it up here. So it basically, it's just information about myself that I think is important for the AI to know in order for it to be helpful for me, if that makes sense. So some basic information, who I am, what I do, my profession, career background, education, my strengths and weaknesses, some blind spots, goals for 2026, etc., etc. So there's a lot in here, and the same is true for, let's say, my company here, Design Snack. Again, quick overview, what I do, my services, my positioning and strategy. This is cross-linked to the strategy file. Branding, again, cross-linked to this one, active clients, etc. So another quick view in here, the branding document. So I just defined the color palette, what I'm using, the typography. Then we have a clients folder with archive, so done projects or finished projects. And I will not go deeper in here, but there's, then projects folder and information about the clients, etc. Then we have the projects folder. These are my personal projects. Here I can show you, for example, the Laws and Patterns app that I released last year, iOS and web version. There's the path to the actual project. And by the way, I didn't write a single line for this one here. I just said, hey, Claude, there's in this folder is this project. Please read the code and create the documentation for it. The same is true for the Joyo project. It does the same thing, so it has context about all of these things. And then I also have a skills folder that I can show you in a second. So you can just bake in your custom workflows to make your personal assistant work for you and thus execute code or stuff or tools for you. So let me show you a couple of examples on how this thing actually works. So I typed in here, let's say I had a call today, a new prospect, project-based engagement. The company is called Müller AG. It's about website redesign. I send out a proposal tomorrow. Contact person is John Doe, head of marketing. So I send that out to Claude Code. And now you can start his thinking. He's grabbing now, going into that folder. It knows, it's about prospects, sorry. Reads certain things, old clients, whatever it feels is relevant. Let's wait until it finishes here. Changes the change log and created now a prospect for me. So now what we can do is we can go into clients, prospects. There we go. We have the Müller AG MD file. We can open it up. This one is very basic, of course. Status active, proposal sent tomorrow. Or will be sent tomorrow. That's correct. Project-based, website redesign. It wrote down the key contacts for me. So next time I can go back in here. It's safe now, right? So next time I can go in here, said, okay, project started, giving a couple of more details about it, and it will just update all the files, all the relevant files for me. Now let me show you a couple of skills that I've set up within my Otto workspace. So I have the skill folder in here, and let's spawn up a new Claude Code. And here I can say, research the latest Figma competitors and create a LinkedIn carousel about it. I'll just send this off real quick. Now we can see it launched the right skill. It will research now the contents in the web using Perplexity, and finally creates the slide in pencil. So we can let this run for a second now. I can open up another Claude Code instance. I can also just / type and say, let's do morning coffee. That's a skill, so it runs that. What this does is, again, it searches the internet regarding things that I'm interested in, about AI, about UX, about the industry, insurance, banking, and creates me a summary of interesting findings. Let's open up another one here. Let's do the weekly review. So this is a personal skill. Not quite sure what I can show you here, but it reads, again, you can see about me, the science neck, the change log, clients, what's important. I run that usually once per week, and now it will probably prompt me with some questions about current statuses on different projects. We can go here for the first one. Let's see, this one is still working. It's doing the web research still. The morning coffee. Okay, he did the research. Now he writes. Now there we can see it actually coming in. Morning coffee from today, even though it's afternoon. But you can see now AI tools, Claude Code stuff that I'm interested in. Co-work, design and UX, industry, fintech. Not quite sure, we don't need to go through that, but just like a little morning coffee for me that I can run in the morning and get a bit of news for the day. Let's see how it's going here. Here's everything you need. Here's the review about my projects, my clients, some spotlights, focuses. Not quite sure what I can show you here, but you get the idea. Let's go back to this one. This one is the longest kind of skill, or takes the most power, let's say, because here you'll go research the topic, create a summary, splits it up in 5 to 9 slides, and then uses an MCP to connect to Pencil, and then actually creates the slides directly in there, so I don't have to do anything. So we can wait here. It should pop up in a second. Maybe I need to speed this up real quick. So now we can see, took a little while, but it's all, the document is empty. Planned out 9 slides. And now he's calling the MCP server to create the slides. So now we can actually see live that the slides are incoming. But yeah, you get the point. So here's the finished deck. In the end, we have the sources slide as well, and where you can see what Perplexity searched, and then Claude Code summarized and created the whole deck for us. I could now just, select everything, export it as a PNG, as PNGs or PDF, and publish it on LinkedIn or whatever. But what I lastly want to show you is how to actually create a skill, which sounds very crazy, but is actually not. So when we go into the, let's say, the morning coffee skill here, again, it's just a markdown file with instructions for Claude Code on what to do. And I didn't write anything of that, right? So, because I have no idea how to do that, I basically just ask Claude Code, hey, please create a skill that does this and that, save the outputs in here, whatever. You just need to be specific what you want. You can ask me clarifying questions. Let's brainstorm. Let's build it step by step, things like that. And it will just go on and create a skill for you that you can test it out, iterate on it. It's actually super, super fun. Now my trackpad disconnected. So, but yeah, that's it for today. I hope it's helpful. Let me know if you guys are working on something similar. I would be very interested if you are working on something similar. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.